Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Bhagavata Sevaya Uttama Shloke Tirabhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutamadakamala Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagananatam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padas Sagananatam Shri Vishakhantam Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharye Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashanti Namo नित्याय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने प्रभुषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Radha is here. Radhe. Radha. Okay, let's start studying the verses which have been doing. You did first 5 verses last week?
No. First 6.
First 6 you did.
Because 5th and 6th are clubbed in the.
Okay, very good. So let's recite 17th chapter verse 7 to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Take your phone. You have the links? Anybody doesn't have the link? Okay. Hare Krishna. Good. Hare Krishna, please come. Everyone has the link? Yeah? It's okay, let's recite now. आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः यज्ञस्तपस्तदानं तेषां वेदामिमं शृणु। Next one. आयुः सत्त्वबलारोग्य सुखप्रीतिविवर्धना तस्य स्निग्धा स्थिरा हृदया आहारः सात्विकः प्रियः। भोजनं तामसप्रियम्। फलाकांक्षिभिर्यज्ञो विधिष्ठो युज्यते यस्तव्यं यदि मनः समादाय सात्विका। Let's do the next two also. विधीनं वचनं मन्त्रहीनं दक्षिणं श्रद्धाविगतं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay. Anybody would like to read the meaning? Number 7, please.
Even the food each person prefers is of three kinds, according to the three modes of material nature. The same is true of sacrifices, austerities, and charity. Now hear of the distinctions between them.
Yep. So where were we last week? Anybody remembers what we have been discussing? How many were there last week? Okay. So, please tell, what are we discussing? Close the door, please. Yes, please. Okay. It's a different question. This question has no answer. What do you remember in life? Anything? Who are you? Name? Where you live? So we are doing 17th chapter. Krishna is describing the last chapter. Krishna was describing the Asuri Bhava, the Asuri Prakriti, how a person has demoniac nature, how this person functions, what is the brain level, consciousness level, how does one thinks, and all these things. And then Krishna ended the chapter by saying, of course it's a continuous flow of information, but Krishna tells, Yah Shastra Vidhi Mutsrajya Vartate Kamakaratah Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti Na Sukham Na Parandate. Somebody is doing by their own whimsical mind, they are acting as per their own mind's direction. There is no sukha, there is no paragati. Right? Not in this life, not afterwards. It's basically a waste of human existence. Remember, we have discussed this? Yes? 2 weeks ago. Yes? You were not there.
I remember that.
Yes. He remembers that he's not there.
He recapped that you.
Okay, good. So, what do you remember from that session? Nothing?
One who don't follow, yeah.
You saw the cartoon? Yes. What was the treadmill? Yes. And the bear? Yes.
Follow instruction.
Huh?
You need to
You
follow
need to
instructions.
find instructions for life. You need to know what is to be worked how. Right? The Shastras gave a direction how to use what. If you just want to use your own mind to figure out how things are going on, chances are high that you will destroy your whole existence. So that's what we have been discussing. And then Krishna starts speaking about whether it is basically all the activities of life, the food you eat, the austerities you perform, the charity you perform, the sacrifices you perform, all these things would fall into mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. Anything you do in the nature, anything which exists in the nature, they all are in these three modes. There is sattva, rajas, tamas. Because Arjuna had asked, if someone is doing this but they're not following scripture, they're not really having shastra, but then they're doing something. They have their shraddha somewhere. Right? They are seemingly dedicated to a cause. So what is that? That was Arjuna's question. Remember? This was last week's discussion perhaps. So we see, like in especially in India, it's very common. You see people who are going to a tree, for example, and they're worshipping the tree as God. Yeah. Those who are not from India, perhaps it's a bit difficult for you to understand this, but in India there are people who just go and their shraddha towards that tree has a background history. In most cases, what happens? Let's say somebody doesn't have a child. Yeah. They are shopping around. You go to this temple, other temple, one more guru, the third sannyasi, one more, wherever. Then somehow, somewhere, someone told, you come here, you worship this tree, you'll get a child. They went there. They started worshipping the tree. You might have seen, they also tie threads and then purely kakataliya. Kakataliya, kaka is crow. Kakataliya means basically a crow is flying, it comes and sits on a tree. Somehow, at that time, the branch broke. Now the crow can think, my weight, I am such an amazing person. It's my weight which broke this tree. It's called a kakataliya. So people get whatever they are supposed to get based on their own karmic bank account. But then they're shopping around, somehow things are not working out, it's not aligned yet. But then somehow at that particular time it got aligned, and for that person now it's huge amount of Shraddha. Because they were going so many places, things were not working out. Finally they came to this tree. Yeah? And they got a child. Imagine the amount of Shraddha they will develop for this tree now. Now, they will not think logically that there are 100 other people who came here and they worship but they didn't get the child. Yeah. Because it doesn't matter for them. All that matters is, I went there, I did this, I got this. Must be true. Yeah? So this was Arjuna's question. What is this kind of things? People seems like they're doing multiple things. Everybody is doing their own thing. What is it categorized as? Question clear? That was Arjuna's question. So Krishna was telling, it's not just that, Arjuna, anything you do in life, anything you perceive in life, it's all in three modes. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. He starts telling the food which you eat, that's where he began. So that's verse 7 now. What do you understand from verse 7? Anybody? If you want, you can read again. Now that you have some of context, I humbly request, please come after study. Please. So that we can have a discussion. Otherwise, it's a lecture. I don't want to give a lecture. Please come, study it, then we can have a discussion. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. What do you understand? Verse 7. You have enough background now. Now you can read the meaning again if you want, and then tell me what you think.
The second one?
7. Verse 7.
Which chapter is it?
17th chapter.
17.
Very good. We just read it. Pratik just read in case if. Yes, Shishal Prabhu, what do you understand? Verse 7.
It says that whatever we do, it is some sort of three modes of nature.
Yes, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas.
Yeah.
I just already said the meaning anyways. Vishnu, you want to come here and sit here? No? What do you want to do? Inside? Huh? Okay.
And you need to make sure they don't make noise, okay?
Maybe you should arrange in a way that the speaker sits that side. It's a bit less chaos perhaps.
Cooking
For
and
next time.
kitchen is rice.
Only rice, right? It's all.
That's
Anyway,
corner.
next week. Think about it.
That's corner.
So, Krishna is telling there is food, yajna, tapa, there are always three modes, sattva, rajas, tamas. And Krishna is going to tell the distinction. Yeah. Okay, please read verse 8. Veera.
Food steer to those in the mode of weakness, increase the duration of life, purify one's existence and give strength, health, happiness and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome and pleasing to the heart.
What do you understand, Mukesh?
Krishna speaks about the food, the mode of goodness, which are juicy and those other foods.
Tropicana. Juicy. Is it?
Which also increases the duration of life.
I drank Tropicana for 2 years when I was in US in the beginning. I was alone. It's 2011 to 13. My staple food was Tropicana. You get Tropicana with max pulp. Yeah, I drank this for 2 years. Morning, afternoon, evening, midnight, Tropicana. I gained 20 kilos only, 2 years. I was 64, I became 84, 85. So, it's very clear. Yeah, it can be juicy, but it's really not good for your health. Yeah. So, what do you understand again?
Make you healthy and give you strength and health.
Yeah. Huh?
But for the short term, it gives you pleasure short term because if it's fatty, then it's also not good for the health.
That's unfortunately the story which the scientists built up, Mira, which has been debunked now, and really was an industrial push there that if you eat ghee and butter and coconut oil and peanut oil, you'll get heart attack. It was the other way around. Yeah, and the whole heart rate situation in India became really bad after the entire India started consuming processed oils. The heart situation in India is really bad after this, generations of television ads that you consume processed sunflower and the refined oils. It's uh, ghee is the best food. Best. This whole theory of don't consume butter and ghee and it makes you anyway. There are enough research now countering the claims of last 60 years. It was basically pushed by the industrial lobby. So yeah, that which gives you health, which makes you happy really in long term. Because food is that one entity when you consume it right, not just empowers your body, not just mind, but also buddhi. We have discussed this before. What is buddhi? Buddhi is that entity in your existence which makes you question higher dimensional things in life. With buddhi, you can start asking, who am I? With buddhi, you can start thinking, what's the purpose of my life? Yeah, that's buddhi. So, food which is in mode of goodness can empower your buddhi. The three components of the food. One, which just nourishes your body. Second component just goes away from your body. Discard it. Third component is that which affects your consciousness, affects your buddhi. Three components. That which is in Sattva Guda, really it helps you. You consume Sattva food, you become Sattvic. It's as simple as that. Now we can also expand this to social media content, which you also consume. You consume goodness, become good. It can't be that I keep. It's not just food. Consumption is consumption. Media is consumption. We consume. Everybody knows that if you drink water which is not pure, you get sick. You know it, right? Or do you need a theory there, like a PhD thesis? I'll first read the thesis and then I'll figure out. You know that if you inhale bad air, you will become sick. You go to Delhi in November, December time frame. People get sick there. So you don't need a research paper to substantiate this. It's very simple to understand. The same thing applies to everything which you consume. So you consume air, you consume water, you consume food, you consume things from your eyes and from your ears. This is what you consume. The idea is that you need to consume that which is in goodness. Then you become sattvic. You consume that which is rajasic, you become rajasic. It's as simple as that. Okay? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, these are the three modes which are existing in the Prakriti. We have studied quite in depth in 14th chapter. In depth. What is Sattva? What is Rajas? What is Tamas? How one performs his or her activity in these modes. In depth analysis have been done in 14th chapter. Krishna has concluded 14th chapter by telling those who are in Sattva, they uplift themselves. Those who are in Rajas, they stay in the same plane of existence. Those who are in Tama, they go down. Urdhvam gachan sattvastaha, madhye tishtanti rajasaha, jaganya manavristaha, adhogati tamasaha. Those who are in Tamasa, they actually glide down. Next life is going to be a life which is really made for tamasic entities. We discussed it last time when I was here also. Someone is just contemplating, meditating on how will I eat meat, how will I eat meat, I really like it, you'll get a body which is made for it. Human body is not made for it. Yeah. You've seen how a tiger drinks water? Have you seen? How?
With help of its tongue.
Everybody drinks water with the tongue only. How? See? Yes or no?
I've seen videos with
Yeah. You have not seen, of course.
cats are also seen.
Yeah. So they are not really drinking, right?
They're gulping kind.
They are huh? Yeah, you can say like this. Yes, it's not. Let's say how you drink. Let's start from here.
Good show.
How do you take?
Take a drink.
Drink like this, right? Do I have water here?
There.
Yeah, here.
You can
I
show us.
I'll show. I'll show how to drink water. Live demonstration. This is how I drink. This is a bit warm, so I drink like this. I may also drink like this. Yeah. So this is how we drink water. Now, a tiger or any animal which is non-vegetarian, they don't drink like this. Vasu can find a video afterwards, we'll put it on the screen. Yeah. How a tiger drinks water, but I guess you get the point. So there is a difference between how we perform our activity versus how a cow performs. Cow also drinks like how we drink. Versus how a tiger drinks is a different, and all animals which are meat consuming, they drink like that. The structure of their teeth is different, the structure of their intestines, they are different. They are made for digesting animals. Human anatomy is not built like that. Human anatomy is built similar to those animals which are vegetarians. So now let's say a human is there and then he is just so much addicted to eating meat. But this body is just not fit for it. So next life, this person is going to get the body which is fit for consuming meat. It's very simple. So I may become a tiger or a lion somewhere. Last time we discussed this example of a polar bear, right? Somebody who's just addicted to sleeping. Human life is not meant for that. Next life, yeah, somebody will become polar bear. Nice. Sleep. In 6 months. No problem. So cozy. So, human life is really meant for something which is beyond the superficial activities of life, the basic instincts of life. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Very basic. Human life is meant for something which is on top of it. For questioning. Athato Brahma Jijnasa. You need to be really inquisitive. Not on how will I get my next Tesla, next house, next this, next that. That's not really that kind of inquisitiveness which is human oriented. Every animal can think this. Of course, not getting Tesla, but they will think, how will I eat better, sleep better? So, food which is goodness, food which is in goodness will make you a person in goodness. Because you consume it. This affects your buddhi, this affects your whole consciousness. Okay? Any questions on that?
Just our outcome or anything, it's a prarabdha karma, but even after eating some adjustment you get or no?
Yeah, so if you're consciously choosing to be in sattvic mode, you start becoming sattvic, right? So karma is a it's not a constant thing. This is a volatile variable. Yeah, you can always work around. You can make it more or less. That's the whole point. Otherwise, there is no point, right? So this is not like somebody has this and no, it can become more or less. Yeah. The moment you start using your buddhi and start living a life of a nara, that's when your first step towards getting out of karmic bondage starts. Until then, you are in the bondage. Feels like, oh, I don't have any choice. Everything is predestined. The moment you start using your buddhi, like a tiger is conditioned. No matter how hungry it is, Pratik may tell like, no, I make the best halwa ever. No, for our Rath Yatra, Pratik makes like 5,000 kilos. No, not 5,000. 500 kilos? How much? 500, 600 kilos halwa. Right? So, even if the tiger is like, I'm so hungry, Pratik gives the halwa, it will not eat. Right? So there is conditioning there. Tiger cannot think like, oh, now I'll become a vegan. Yeah? Enough of killing these rabbits and deers and I'll become a vegan now. You just cannot. Can't function like that because the instrumentation is just not set for tiger to become a vegetarian animal. It's just not possible. Yeah. The human can. The conditioning in lower forms are like, and then you may say like, oh, it's predestined. But then predestined by what? Predestined by its own karma. And eventually the tiger will become a human one day. And then there is a question mark again. Do you want to think beyond your eating, mating, sleeping, defending? Or would you like to just continue thinking about the same thing? Making sense? Good. Okay, next sloka. Who wants to read? Anjali maybe?
Translation.
Translation.
Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increases the duration of life.
That's done.
9.
Yeah.
9.
Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, too hot, pungent, dry and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery and disease.
Clear? What do you understand?
No spicy foods because it decreases disease and distress.
Yes.
No spicy food.
No spicy food. Okay. What else?
Everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation, very good. Yes, that's sattva.
Yeah.
So basically, Krishna explains what are the characteristics of foods in the mode of passion and what are the effects.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell.
Yeah.
What is the characteristic and what is the effect?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. What do you understand?
Yeah, as Prabhuji mentioned, it should be balanced, it should not be extreme. So
Yes.
here mentioned that foods that are in extreme, like too hot, too salty, too spicy, they're not good.
Yeah.
It leads to distress. Your mind is restless, for example.
Do you agree with this? That Krishna is telling that it actually causes distress, misery, and disease. Do you agree with this? Yeah. Have you experienced this? What have you experienced?
If somebody eats too much sugar, they got diabetes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too salty? High BP? Okay. Simple, right? I'll ask a difficult question. See, we have Yogamaya and Elena, right? Ilona. Aliona. They are from, you're also from Russian background? Ukraine?
I'm from Lithuania.
Lithuania, okay. Okay. And where are you from?
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. So perhaps if you have few people whose spice levels, perhaps they perhaps don't eat the kind of spices which in general how much we eat. Anybody here from Andhra? Yeah, Vasu is there. Now, perhaps the amount of spices which is normal for Vasu is perhaps too much for us. Yeah, and what is normal for us is too much for other people. Yeah. So how do you really understand what is the standard here? Is there like a benchmark? This much salt? This is the
Feel your
benchmark.
body. To feel yourself, your
Yes.
body.
So ultimately it boils down to your own Prakriti, because Prakriti is not just outside, it's also within. So in general, if you go to an Ayurvedic physician, they would take a cross section of your existence in terms of Kapha, Pitta, Vata. Right? Then they advise a diet which is aligned with your Kapha, Pitta, Vata levels. Somebody who is having too much Kapha or too less Kapha, or too much Vata, too less Vata, too much Pitta, too less Pitta, or just enough. It could be whatever. And then it's figured out what is that which is normal for you. And how much should you be taking extra, maybe something. Is it making sense? Let's say someone is only capable of eating one morsel of rice. This is it. I can only eat this much. For them, eating this much is overeating. But somebody who can eat this much, they really need this much. If I tell them eat only this much, they will struggle really, right? So it's basically based on one's own body, how one's body is functioning. However, for a person who is in that level, they need to understand this is where my body is operating, I need to consume this much. Anything more, especially when it comes to sugar for some people, salt for some people, spice level for some people, or sourness for some people, it's not that they need, their body needs it, it's just their tongue needs it. There's a difference between it. Yeah? And that's what Krishna is addressing here. Too less, too little is from the perspective of this is your position, constitution, this is how your body is functioning. This is how much you should be normally taking. And then you are making it more or less based on your normal syllables, your own normal syllables. Then that causes problems. That's well understood. Yeah. Next one, 10. Who wants to read? Yes, Abhishek.
I was actually looking about the three modes that you saying Ayurveda.
Okay.
Reading.
No problem.
Number 10.
Yes.
Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness.
Half of the class will be empty now, right?
But where is the 3 hours, Prabhu? Is it mentioned in the shloka in Sanskrit?
Yeah, Yata Yamam is, that's what it is. That which is prepared before.
Maybe its translation is exaggerating, I think.
Not really. That which is before. As per Ayurveda, you need to cook and you eat right away. Food should never be left. Like you cook and you keep it and then you eat later. It should never be like that. At least growing up, this is how it was in our homes. Now, of course, we all live very different lives. Yes.
I've heard that if the food is offered, so it's prasada, this does not, the 3 hours thing, it does not impact it.
You can start making theories and philosophies on that. The point is, again, everything is in 3 categories, sattva, rajas, tamas. There is also another category which is higher than sattva, rajas, tamas. Now, let's make it exaggerated and then I'll try to understand. Let's say there is prasad. It's really rotten, spoiled. You eat it. You may get atmic benefit from there. Yeah, there is sattva, rajas, tamas, and there is adi bhautik, adi daivik, adhyatmik. 3 other levels. Adi bhautika level, this is rotten, it's gone. You eat it, you'll get sick for sure. For sure. Maybe you'll get some adhyatmic benefit. Adi bhautika level, you will get benefited in a negative way. adhyatmic level, you get benefit at positive level. Just because something is offered doesn't mean that everything is changed drastically and dramatically. It will if you are in that consciousness. We are not in that consciousness. We are right now struggling with our own existence. Yeah. So let's come back to the discussion. First, let's finish this. But I do want to come back to this. So if I get dragged away, please bring me back. Okay. So let's discuss what Krishna is telling first. So what do you understand?
You have to prepare fresh food and then eat.
You need to make it fresh and eat. I know a person who was having a different diet before. She was working. She would cook her entire week's meal one shot. Okay? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Crazy.
Freeze it. Yeah. Every day take the box out. Microwave, eat. Monday breakfast, Monday lunch, Monday dinner. Tuesday breakfast, Tuesday lunch, Tuesday dinner. So she would cook everything on Sunday, put it in the fridge. And I saw that, I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, what? She's earning so much, and like, what's the use of your life? You can't even eat fresh food. So Gita needs to be practically applied and practiced. If you are consuming anything which is packed, coming in a frozen packet, that which is really packed, is a packed food with preservative, stop it. This is going to spoil your life. You'll not even realize. It's not good for your consciousness, not good for your body. If you're eating like parathas which are made, I don't know when, just go to Indian store, pick it up and then come and just microwave or just roast and eat. Stop it. You consume anything which is frozen, stop it. It's not good for you. Once in a while, ice cream, something which you can also make ice cream at home. I can give you recipes. Make really good mango ice cream. So you can do things at home also. Anything which you are consuming which is really coming in a pack, is packed, processed, don't eat it. Is it possible?
What about just deep freeze vegetables? Is also not okay?
Not good.
But how can we apply this in real life?
Yeah, just stop doing whatever you're doing, right? So it's very simple. It's a very simplest way of doing it.
Let me rephrase this.
Huh?
Let me rephrase this.
Yes, sure.
So you're going for work in the morning, and then you prepare food for lunch, and you have lunch. If you're leaving at 7 in the morning, and then you have lunch only at 12:30, so that's 5.5 hours.
Yes.
And by this logic, from this paragraph, it says that that's not.
It's not good for the body. Now you can philosophize it. You can get that no, it's not possible for me. It's this for me, that for me, whatever. The point is again, on the bhautika level, this food is not good. You see, the whole modern life is making you think that you are living a better life now. People were living bad life before, right? But we have historical evidence that there are people in India who are living 140 years, 150 years, just 100 years ago. There are Vaishnava Acharyas who have lived 140, 150 years. Yeah? They have lived. Ramacharya lived more than 100 years. Madhvacharya lived a very long life. So there are enough saints who have lived long life. There are enough normal people who have lived very long life. My great grandfathers, 2 of them, they lived almost 100. Almost. So this, but then when you look at the statistics, which is basically skewed towards one direction, it tells you no, quality of life is better now, it's improving now. But people at the age of 40 in India are taking diabetes medicine and then BP medicine and then So where is the quality of life? What exactly are you talking about? So again, Abhishek, I'm not telling that you should start doing drastically. It should never be the case. Don't change anything drastically. Take step by step. See what can be done. What is that which you can make baby steps as something which you can do better than what you were doing yesterday. Just small baby step. However, things remain as they are. Just because a child doesn't know that a fire is going to burn. If the child touches the fire, doesn't mean that the fire doesn't burn the hand of the child, right? Child doesn't know. So just because I can't, I don't know, I don't have any other opportunity, I don't have, doesn't mean that the same thing is going to uplift you. It is not, at least not on adhibhautika level. Yeah, because it doesn't matter how great you are, how amazing you are, how great spiritualist you are, if you don't wash your mouth, for example, and if you don't brush your teeth, your mouth will stink. Right? You may tell that no, I'm a Krishna devotee. I do this so much, I whole day I sit and chant, but you don't wash your mouth. So is your mouth going to get like amazing fragrance? But you are like, to think about it really. Because adhibhautika level is adhibhautika. You are making amazing progress in adhyatmika level. Accepted. Adhibhautika level you need to take care. So, and things are how they are. Prakriti functions how it functions. You can't tell that no, my situation is different and because of which everything else changes for me. No.
But again, if we zoom in even for baby steps, what would be your recommendation?
At least take 2 times then fresh food, morning, evening. Then afternoon you can manage with maybe, okay, fine. At least for now you can take what you are doing. But at least morning, evening you can eat fresh food.
Yeah, that's
yeah. And then eventually maybe you can get your house which is nearby and then do your work and then see how you can. The time is not a problem. It's never the problem. I'll tell a small story. Once Srila Prabhupada was in New Thalavan, Mississippi. We have a farm community there. And Srila Prabhupada was so hungry and his assistant just was not bringing the food at all. He was just lost in cooking. And Prabhupada was like fed up waiting for it. Eventually Prabhupada went and showed in 45 minutes. Prabhupada prepared 7-course meal. Puri, rice, dal, sabzi, raita, sweet, drink. 7-course meal. 45 minutes. So if you know how, and Prabhupada was like 70 plus years old, right? So he did that. He showed how to do it. So if you really plan well, everything is, you have a good scale on what to do. You may not eat 7-course meal every day, but at least rice dal you can make like this.
Yeah, that's also 45 minutes.
So it's not very difficult. It's in our mind it is difficult. But if you really start thinking about it, optimize your own life. In Amsterdam temple, for festivals like Janmashtami, we cook for 1,500, 2,000 people. We cook in 5-6 hours, we are done. Good feast. Nice feast. On a normal festival like Gaur Purnima or other King's Day or something, we serve 500 people, let's say. We prepare 12-course meal, 3-4 hours, 5 hours, max, done. If you plan really, you have you know what needs to be done, how you can do it. It's not an impossible task. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
So even in the next paragraph is talking 2 things, right? So there's sacrifice and duty in the same line, but now also about the food. So we say we have to eat fresh food, but at the same time we also don't have to waste, right? So the homeless shelter, we're feeding and all, and then if it's leftover, we feel really bad, then we put it in the fridge, and even if it's 3 days after, we make sure we are eating just to show gratefulness, right, for the food we have.
Yeah.
So it's not good, but also we need
Again, so it's a good point. Then I'll come back to what Martin was asking before. Being grateful is good for you on Adhidaivik level. Yeah, this is Adhidaivika level. So Adhibhautika is very physical plane of existence. Adhidaivika is a higher plane of existence where you are grateful, you are really humble, and you are connecting with the higher energy basically. Adhyatmika is really you're connecting with your source, right? Who you are, Atma. So that food which is offered to Krishna is prasad. Yeah, even if it is rotten, it has its potency of being prasad. You eat it, you will get benefit in Adhyatmika level. But You can't tell that no, this has no effect on your body. Your body will get reaction. It will. If somebody tells that no, doesn't nothing, no worry at all. You can eat food which is there 20 days ago. It's been prepared. It's prasad from Krishna. Eat it. You will get benefited. You get sick. You get diarrhea. This is mercy of Krishna. What nonsense is this? Right? Is that it?
Yes.
So, yeah, you may think that no, it is amazing, this prasad of Krishna, and but then your body will react. It has to react. Unless you are like someone like, I'll tell another story. Ramanujacharya, when he was there, he was coming one day after taking his bath from the river Kaveri, and there were kids who had made a nice deity of Krishna in the banks of river Kaveri, and they were offering everything in like wooden small plates and things. They were offering like mud. They have a deity of Krishna, and they're offering like mud and this, whatever they could find. They're like, okay, this is offered to Krishna. They're just playing. Yeah? And they saw Ramanujacharya coming. They went to the sage and like, here, this is prasad of Krishna. So Ramanujacharya consumed it. He actually ate it. And nothing happened to him. Because he is operating in a different realm of existence. He was once fed poison, full. Nothing happened to him. Right? So, this is a different state of existence altogether. I am not there. At least I am not there. I don't know about you guys. At least
No,
I am not there. So I'll be very careful if I need to consume mud or poison or food which is like 20 days old. Just thinking that is prasad of Krishna. Yeah. So, yeah. Is that okay, Martin?
I just also refer to something what Martin just said. Maybe you can correct me. But what I heard also from senior devotees that prasad should never be wasted, even if it's rotten. So, yeah, of course, you should not eat it, but at least you can give in the lower creatures, in the mode of ignorance, like dogs, and or give it to the trees, birds, yeah, because they also benefit by this. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and first of all, we should never get into the situations, right? Like, so that's the best way, if we could manage that you make it just enough. Right? And little bit of plus minus is always fine. And you can always find somebody, neighbors or something, you can just give and share. And then, that's how people were living before, right? Sharing was always the part of life. Not just because, I somehow made today and it is too much and I need to share. No, it's just part of your life. You make it. Anybody who was a married person, a grahastha, it was their responsibility to make sure before they consume, they would go on the street and call, shout. Anybody who is hungry here, please come. I'm going to eat now. If you're hungry, please come. Let's eat together. Can you imagine? Amazing life, isn't it? So, that's how life was, and if there is something which is remaining, then you can always give it to other people, or eventually. It's usually not good if something I'm giving to even animals which is really not good, but I can always dispose in when it's in a nice situation than waiting until it becomes rotten and then I give it out. There are also people like that, very, very I would say greedy. They just keep it here. I'll eat, and then one day it's really, really spoiled, and then you start thinking, what do I do with this? And then you start distributing it. So, they're really greedy people. So we should be better. Okay? But that's just about first part of it, right? Food prepared more than 3 hours before. What else? Food which is tasteless. Decomposed and putrid. Pizza base which you buy from outside. Food consisting of remnants and untouchable things. If you eat things from other plates.
No.
Yeah, if food should be for just yourself.
From Guru
It's
Maharaj.
sharing one plate,
Plate.
10 people eat.
From Guru Maharaj place.
So that's different again. So But usually, you go to a restaurant, you just get one and then 5 people share, 10 people share. This is not sattvic at all. To begin with, restaurant is not sattvic. But then, yeah, this is like next level tamasic. Yeah. The reason is because ultimately your consciousness gets affected beyond what you can understand and appreciate. You don't even get to know how it's going on. There is a small story wherein there was a sage. Usually in the Vedic tradition, sages would just go and then just do, they would beg from householders. The sage goes and this householder gives, makes very nice prasadam and then serves the sage in a nice silver plate. And after eating, the sage just took the plate and went away. After some time, he's like, how did I even bring this plate with me? I'm just I'm a saint. I don't do the things like this. So he went back, gave the plate back, and then asked, how did you prepare your food? The lady said, well, just for today, there was things which I missed a few things. I just went behind the other house lady. She had put a few things outside their home. Usually India, the sun-dry grains and things. So she just told, and without you telling. And she prepared. And then, so that consciousness of stealing just got into this person's mind and then he just acted right away. So anything which you eat, there are multiple people who are involved in the process. The one who grows, the one who transports, the one who sells, the one who cooks. All these people's consciousness is there in the food. You may not be able to realize that this food has all these people's karma. You just see rice or chole bhatura or whatever in front of you. But this one has, on adibhautika level, is just material. Or maybe grains or atta, chole. That's what you see on adibhautika. But on adhyatmika level, adibhautika level, adidaivika level, there are different compositions. So adidaivika level, it will have karma of all these people. You eat it, you get it. Very simple. That's why Krishna tells in Gita 3rd chapter that you need to offer to him. Yajna Shishtashinas Santo. You need to offer all that you eat. Before you eat, offer to Krishna. All the karmic things are taken away there. It becomes prasad. Okay? So sattvic food can still have karma. You offer to Krishna, becomes prasad. Sattvic is not directly prasad. Sattvic is food which is mode of goodness. But if you offer it to Krishna, then it becomes prasad. Okay? Good. Any other thoughts here?
I think we have discussed extensively on food. Can we also apply some common sense? Like 3 hours not possible, as you said, we eat as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
Foods, luckily, are always fresh. Fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Even if you cut them, they will be fresh for quite long. So that's what I think we need to adopt. And also, they are rich in pranic energy.
Yeah.
I think we need to look in that perspective. As Mataji said, if you really thinks that if it's kept in the fridge for the next day, it's fresh. You maybe also taste it. If it's spoiled or still fresh, that's okay. And another thing is, you should look at packaged food as well. Packaged food is easily avoidable. And even biscuits and these kind of things are packaged foods. They're already pre-cooked.
Yeah.
Like those also we can look at reducing consumption.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, we can always look at what's the next step, and it should be baby step. Never do drastic changes in life. You'll only collapse. If you do drastic changes, from tomorrow I will not eat anything which is more than 3 hours. Perhaps is a high goal for you.
Somebody may be eating bread, for example.
Yeah.
Bread normally don't throw away for just 1 day.
Yeah, 1 week you keep, right?
1 week is already stretching, but maybe at least
2
4
days
days.
maximum.
So yeah, that's the thing. Always, you see, this is common sense. You don't need a PhD degree again to understand that which is fresh is good for your body. good for digestion, it's good for you. Tastes better. That which is kept, however you keep it, it's really, yeah, it's not perfect. But if you are not able to come there, that's okay. Let's start taking baby steps. Eventually, if not this year, maybe next year, I'll get there. At least knowledge should be there. You know, there should be always goal which is out of reach right now. That's okay. It should never be out of sight that I don't even know. It's out of reach. That's fine. Can you repeat?
Yeah. Must be high.
Goal can be high.
Goal can be out of reach. That's fine. It should never be out of sight. Don't even know what is what. Yeah. Let's end there. Say 2:20. Then we can take prasada. Any
Fresh
questions
made.
before we end? I wanted to cover the next 3 verses, but I can't do that. Oh yes, yes.
So yeah, I'm in university now.
Vasu, hold on. I'll finish.
Yeah. So I'm in university now, and so I basically make food once in the morning, and then I plan to eat it like for the whole day, whatever it is. I was actually gonna eat the pasta that I made yesterday, like after after I go. So yeah, how do I add like sattvic food to my diet? Because most of the times I just eat like pasta. I get like sauce from Albertine or something, mix it, eat. That's my
This is
diet.
Pratik here. Raise your hand. Makes amazing food. Really cooks really good. You can learn some recipes from him maybe and how to manage.
Yeah.
And then
And I also have a question. How many times a day you have to eat?
that depends on you. I eat twice a day. It depends what's your requirement. Some people eat 5 times a day. So it's better if you don't put frameworks around those things. You see how much you need.
Well, it's not consistent. Sometimes like I eat only once a day, and sometimes like 5 times. So like now it's exam time for me. So like I eat like 24/7. Whatever is in front of
So
me.
that's bad.
Yeah.
Being consistent is better. Something which is always gives. It's like going to gym.
Yeah.
It's not one day you go to gym you do 100 kilos and next day you do 5 kilos and the other day again you do 100 kilos. This won't work out. Right? So to start small and then build it up. So try to be consistent in whatever you have a good routine for life. Good routine for life should not be based on outside circumstances. It should be based on your own constitutional position. So try to see if you can make your raising time, what time you wake up, what time you go to bed in the night, how much time you sleep, how much time you study, when you eat, what you eat. Try to regulate the whole thing. It's not just about one, right? If your food is like this chaotic, I can also perhaps, with high probability, I can tell that entire life is chaotic like this, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So let's try to make it regulated. That's what is most important. That's some regulations, and eventually, life should be always on a slope which is going up. Right? So there may be fluctuations there, but the amplitude of the fluctuations can become smaller as you go ahead. So right now there is too much fluctuation. But then eventually amplitude becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. Still there is variation. I don't think you'll ever be able to, at least not being in the modern life and a working person. Perhaps very difficult to make it like fully structured wherein every single day I wake up at this time, I do this at this time. And perhaps it's difficult. But at least there can be a window there. So I wake up somewhere in this region. I do this then in this region. I do work in this region. Right? So some good bandwidth for each. So that's a better planning. Okay. Hare Krishna. One last question. Anyone?
Next week is Anjan.
Next week is what?
Nityananda.
Yes. Next is 9th, right? I guess Pratapudra Prabhu is coming here, so we'll have a Nityananda Trayodasi festival. Please come, bring your friends. We'll have a nice celebration. 16th March is Gaurav Purnima. That's the next month. We'll have a big festival also that time. Yes. Any last question?
It's here or in Amsterdam?
Here.
Here?
Yeah. Amsterdam also, but also here.
Say, when Prabhu.
No? I want 5 people to tell what you like today. 5. Just raise your hand, shout.
To eat fresh food. Always.
Maya likes to eat
Always.
fresh food. Okay, good. Anyone? I want 4 more people. Raise your hand, shout. What you like?
Yeah, I like that we classified that too salty, for example, too spicy can differ per person.
Yes.
So we maybe should make sure to check this for ourselves, maybe advise with somebody
Yes.
to see what is good so that we regulate our vata. And,
Yes.
yes.
Very good. Yes.
The last bit when you said about the fluctuation, of course, should be aware because every time the New Year comes and we have all these 1,000
Yes.
resolutions, morning, oh, we want to
Yeah.
go there,
Yeah.
and then the next day.
Yes.
So that little thing that we
Thank you. 2 more. Yes, Prabhu.
What I like is if we can have consistency in this end, also about the food, not only the food, but the things we are consuming.
Yes.
Right? Not only the food, but the things we are consuming.
Instagram Reels. Yes.
Yeah, the way you explained that even if particular food, even though it's a prasadam, but if it is not good for your health, you are not supposed to consume it because on the Adi Bhautik level you get impacted, on Adi Daivik or Adi Atmik level, even though you have benefits, but still on the Adi Bhautik level you will be impacted because of this.
You can always choose. What's your? It always depends on where your operating level. Never jump outside your level of comfort zone. There is no need.
But extent of pressure doesn't do with extent of autograph.
Yeah, again, Adi Bhautika is not, there is no question there.
So,
Right?
because if I eat 10 minutes prasad, if I eat after 3 hours prasad, it will have the same
Adhyatmic level benefit, but Adi Bhautik level is different. Okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
His Grace Nilabara Prabhu ki
Jai.
jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.